Hey PA gang, PA Reloader here. Hope everybody's enjoying their spring and staying safe and healthy. Um, in this video, I want to bring to you, I picked up two Coni Bear 110 traps, and I wanted to go through the process of degreasing them because they're covered with grease. So we're going to do a degreasing, we're going to rinse them. And I'm going to show you how exactly this trap works. It's got a great frame made of, I believe, carbon steel. It will rust if it's not treated. So I've seen people treat them with acid to get them to rust, to clean off the rust. I've seen people paint them. There's all different methods that people use. Some people wax them, some people dip them. It's personal preference. Whatever you decide to do with your trap to keep it in good functioning, working order is figure it out. You know, what works for you may not work for somebody else. But what I'm going to do with these traps, I'm going to degrease them. I'm going to rinse them, dry them off really well, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them right away. Some people let their traps rust and then they'll put a primer on and then a paint, or they'll dip, or they'll use acid, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just degrease them, dry them off, clean them, and then I'm going to shoot them with some primer, and then I'm just going to go with a flat brown paint. And that should conceal the trap pretty well. So let's degrease these, and then I want to go over the parts of the trap with you, and right up until where we're going to set this trap, and I'm going to show you how it works. So let's, I have some degreasing agent here and a bowl. I've got water, I've got rinse. So we're just going to pour this in here. And all this is just some kind of detergent with a degreaser in it. And what I want to do is put on my gloves. Okay. Yeah, these things come from the factory. They're not going to rust from the factory because they are covered in like a thick 3-in-1 oil, but this degreaser is really going to do a good job, and I can see that it's working already. Just try to get in every nook and cranny on these traps. I've never been a trapper. I've always hunted small game and deer, and I've been very successful, but I wanted to just give this a shot. I've watched a lot of videos on it, and it seems like it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good ideas out there, a lot of good content, and we're gonna see what happens. So yeah, this is bubbling up really nicely. This trap is pretty much, I'm gonna say, degreased. It looks pretty good. And like I said, I'm not gonna let my traps rust because rust never sleeps. You know, once it's rusted, it's gonna keep eating away at the trap, degrading the metal. Yeah, you're gonna put a protective coating on it, but there's still rust under there, you know? And like I said, I'm new to this. What do I know, right? So I'm just gonna do what I think is gonna work best for me. So I'm gonna put this in here with some fresh water. Should be good for now. looks pretty good. Set that to the side. We'll go for the second one. I'm really glad that spring is here. All my trees are starting to bloom, get leaves. My Kwanzaa cherry tree is full of blooms. It's gorgeous. I'm really loving the weather. Although the next couple days it's supposed to be rainy. But you know what? I got my grass cut today. I enjoyed doing that. And I'm just going to relax. I'm off till... I'm off till Monday. So I got quite a stint of time to be home, get things done, hopefully make some more videos. Okay. Now there's still suds. There's still suds on this because I rinsed the other trap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this into here. And I have some water left over. I'm going to give this a rinse. Move that to the side. We're going to fill this the rest of the way with the water. We're just going to get all the suds and soap off that we can. That gallon's kicked. All right, and this should be our final rinse. And like I said, I'm going to dry these and I'm going to paint them. And we'll see how well they work. Go online, look up Coni Bear, Coni Bear 110, Coni Bear 110 traps, and you'll see other videos along with mine. On YouTube, and you guys can check them out. See what if you think you might like to get into it. So we're gonna dry these up real nice, and then I probably won't bore you with the painting part of it. Maybe I will. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But I do want to go over all the parts of this, and I do want these to dry thoroughly before I do spray a coat of primer on them. So maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Maybe we won't get to the painting part. We'll see. This seems to be pretty good. I got a bunch of the wife's old rags. She's like, where are my good rags going? I'm like, I don't know. But I know. Okay. That one looks pretty darn good. Okay, so we'll put that to the side. And then we're gonna dry this guy. And if any of you guys have trapped before, please leave me some tips. Definitely comment on the video. I'm really looking forward to doing this. It seems like it's going to be fun, and I'm hoping that it's mostly going to yield me squirrel or rabbit. That's kind of what I'm going for. So yeah, if anybody has any tips out there, certain baits that they use. I'm probably going to be using like corn cob with peanut butter for squirrels, maybe some fruit like apples, things like that, older apples for the rabbits. Yeah, just things like that. And those are things that I picked up just watching other people's videos, what worked for them. Yeah, these are dry. I think we're going to be able to paint these too, guys. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to. I think we're going to be good. Okay, so that's that. Put that there. I'm going to put this water on the floor. That's out of our way. Okay, so now with these traps, this is your main spring right here. This is your main spring. You can see that. And the reason they call this the 110 is because it has 110 pounds of force. And to squeeze this spring, it takes a lot of force. So what I want to show you is I showed you the spring, and then this guy right here is called the dog. Now there's three settings. There's three settings that you can use. This being the innermost setting being the less sensitive. You have a middle of the range sensitivity, and the end is extremely sensitive. Now you really have to be careful with these traps because this will break your finger for sure. You want to, once you squeeze this, you can see this, you squeeze it, and then you use this trap like this. Now once it's squeezed, this is compressed and your trap is compressed, and you can see it's under tension. Now this right here is called your trigger, and that just hangs out. Now there's a little notch inside this trigger, and that's where one of your three dog positions go. I just want to get in here because I can see a little bit more water, and I want to paint these. I want to make sure they're dry. Okay, so now while I'm holding this, I just want to mention these do come with a chain and a ring. So let's say you do get a squirrel or you do get a rabbit. You're going to want to stake this down just in case you can't get to your trap for 24 hours and a bigger predator isn't going to come and take your catch away. So you want to make sure you stake this to the ground. So now, like I said, the spring's compressed, our trap is set or compressed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set our trigger right here. This trigger swivels, and we're going to set our dog. Our dog is going to go right in the middle of that trigger, just like that. Now that trap is set. Now you do not want your hands anywhere near this trap once it's set. You have to be careful. You touch that trigger and this thing's going to severely bite you, maybe send you to the hospital. Now with this set, what will happen is, I'm going to use a stick for an example. You touch this trigger and that trap goes off that fast. It's literally that quick. And to release this, you just squeeze the spring. I'm going to do that again for you. Maybe I can get a closer shot. But you saw that was instantaneously. That is a perfectly, that's going to get the animal right by the neck, and it's going to dispatch it immediately. It's a very humane way to dispatch an animal. These are nice because they're small enough that you could put them in a bug out bag. They really take up no room if for your hunting. When I'm in my tree stand, I could go squirrel hunting for 6 or 7 hours and maybe see 2 squirrels. When I'm hunting in my tree stand, there are more squirrels on the ground than I can count. I think the one time I was in my tree stand, I counted 4 or 5 squirrels that were just running around the ground. But when I'm looking for them, they're not there. So maybe when I'm deer hunting, I can set up a couple of these on the ground and maybe get lucky with that. But let me set this up again. So you spring this out. There's your spring right here. We're going to squeeze this together. Now remember, we're holding our trap now like this. We're holding it like this. It springs. You can see this. It wants to spring. So here's our trigger. Here's our dog. I'm going to turn this around. The trigger and the dog are centered. Okay, so let me move this back just a touch, and we're just gonna touch the trigger, and that sets off the Coni Bear 110. All right, so like I said, this is a great bug out bag little trap, and this will catch mink, weasels, rabbits, squirrels, and I've even heard of people using them to catch fish. Actually, some guy caught a salmon I saw. It's pretty impressive with the size of the salmon that came through this 110 Coni Bear, and got it right behind the fins that are right behind the gills, basically where you'd fillet them anyway. So it was a perfect kill. So let's give that other one a shot. That's a pretty hefty stick I was using right there, and it took off chunks of the wood. So I want to give this one a try since these are new. And you know what? Don't be terrified of this thing. Once you learn how to do it, it's going to come naturally to you. Like, I mean, just squeezing it, as long as you have a hand on the tension, you really have not that much to worry about. That, like I said, that doesn't mean go, be careless. Don't do that. You want to hunt this season. You don't want to hurt yourself practicing with this thing. But she's nice and dry. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, this spring is compressed. I have my trigger, I have my dog, and I'm gonna set my dog to the most sensitive position. Okay. That's set. Just like that, guys. That quick. And it's over. It's over for that animal. All right. So that's my little spiel on the 110 Coni Bear. I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover with it. It's highly effective. I know that what some people have done, they've removed these triggers, and instead of having these rods, they made a little pan. So the animal wouldn't see the rod, the animal would step on the pan and it would release the trigger. Now that may be something I might be interested in doing down the road. I'm going to see how these work for me this season. I don't really think I'm going to have a problem. But who knows? You know, I might actually go to that pan method. But if you check it out, check out the Coni Bear 110 on YouTube, and you'll see other mods that people have made to them, and they're very effective. So let's why don't we give these guys a coat of paint? I say we do it. All right, I'm gonna just put that there. I got some primer. Just what you guys want to see me do, right? Paint. But you know, I think these are made of carbon steel. The steel is extremely strong. Doesn't bend or give at all. I mean, it's a well-made trap. And like I said, I'm not going to go crazy painting it perfect or anything like that. It's going to be out in the woods. It's going to get used, and I'll have to repaint it next season. But let's just paint it. Paint the chain up. Yeah, it looks great already. Just a little spritz just to protect it. Hang this one up, and then we'll prime the other one. Actually, that primer seems like it's dry already. Dog. And it doesn't need much, guys. It just needs to be protected. I mean, I've seen some of these videos. These guys have 5-gallon buckets of traps that are just like completely rusted, and they work fine. Alright, we'll let that dry. I think the other one's ready for paint. Let that hang a little bit. Let's get the paint out. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm really looking forward to using these traps. I think they're really going to come in handy. And actually, the part I didn't tell you was, so I looked on eBay and I shopped around for traps, and there's this hardware store by me, and it's a mom and pop hardware store. Now I have a feeling the mom passed away a long time ago, and this guy's got to be, he's hunched over, but man, he's a go-getter. He's got to be pushing 94, 95, and that guy just keeps running that hardware store. And he got me these in 2 days, and they were $7 a piece, $14 out the door cash. You can't beat that. I really don't think you can. I mean, for $14, what can you get nowadays, right? Put that to the side. All right, now we're just going with some brown paint. That's a nice colored primer. I'll be able to see if I missed anywhere. And this is gonna blend in really well with the leaves and things that are on the ground come fall. And that looks pretty darn good. I'm liking that a lot. Yeah, that's gonna add a lot of protection. And like I said, you gotta, you know, I'd never set a trap before, and I just watched informational videos on it, learned how to do it, watched what people did, and I found it extremely helpful. And it's just a learning process, but I know how to be safe with the trap. I know how to watch my digits and make sure they don't get bit. It's looking good. Nice brown color for the fall. Come on, swing around. There you go. All right. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap up my video of the 110 Coni Bear body trap for trapping small game. I'm really excited to use it. It seems like it's it's going to be a really productive trap. And yeah, other than that, primed, painted, ready to be used. So come this fall when small game opens up, we'll give it a shot, and hopefully we'll have some luck. So if you do try to get into trapping and use the start out with a Coni Bear, I would recommend that. They make a whole bunch of bigger traps, but a lot of the times they use these scissor things just to close, because the compression is just too forceful for your hands. But for me, these are going to work perfectly fine. So thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble on. I hope you guys have a great spring, and that's going to lead right into summer. I hope you guys have a great time. Enjoy with your families, and life's short, guys. My youngest one just turned 25, and it seemed like it was overnight. So yeah, it chokes me up a little bit to think that, you know, they're all grown, but I do get to see them, and that's a blessing. So thank you again, and everybody stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.